to 21 to be able to buy a rifle, so now you can't get a handgun and you can't get a rifle. So from the age of 18 to 21, you've got 3 years where you are vulnerable. You are a gun-free zone. Now, the odds aren't necessarily there that you'll be that percentage that gets attacked. But if a terrorist or a criminal knows or thinks that you are somewhere between the ages of 18 and 21, guess what? They've already put 2 and 2 together and already know that you are a gun-free zone. And gun-free zones, 90% of the time, are getting attacked. Think about that for a minute. Gun-free zones, 98% of the time. So if a criminal thinks you have a gun, the likeliness of them attacking you is pretty minuscule. So here's my other side of the coin. Think about this. How about, forget all these crazy laws about what kind of gun you can have. I say automatic too. Let's bring the age down to 16. That's right, 16. You heard me right, 16. Why? Okay. Because in some states, it's legal for you to drive a vehicle at 16. So if you all want to raise it up to 21, then we should really raise the driving age to 21, the internet age to 21, the going into the military at 21, which is not a bad idea because then you're either forced to, at 18, even if you're staying with mommy, go out. Well, that's one of the variables, one of the three. Remember I said you're either staying with mommy and daddy, or you might be living with mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy saying you have to pay the rent, so you have to go get a job and you learn life. Or you're living at home and going to a community college, or you're going, somewhere else to go live on campus and go to college. And then you have all of the quote-unquote, I didn't say a right, these now are the privilege, car, internet, etc. Let's bring it down to 16. And here's the caveat. You will be tried as an adult at 16. That means don't do the crime unless you're willing to do the time. That, I think, would be a great approach as well. There's your deterrent. Then maybe all of these kids who say they can get a gun no matter what, illegally, will be thinking twice before they go and entertain that concept. Food for thought. Technically, I say they should leave it all at 18. So, we have someone at work who's a liberal, just for temporary so we can catch up with the work. From my understanding, she actually cried when Trump was elected. And I want you to listen to what I'm saying here, because this is the hatred seed that's been planted. And until the right bird comes by and plucks the seed out, this hatred will fester. This is why you need to vote and look into the people who are getting into public office and what their firm beliefs are. You can pretty much ask a few questions. One, do you see them spending a lot of money? That's not a good idea. Do they believe in the Constitution of America? Will they be fighting for your Second Amendment rights, that they're not infringed, and let you have the First Amendment so you can say what you want whenever you want, regardless of what others think it is? Whether it's hate speech or not, it doesn't matter. It's just words. Do I think that they should be said? No. But if you have to call someone out, then you have to call someone out. I read you a passage that said, Jesus says to call them out. And if they repent their sins, you forgive them. Right? But again, she's a liberal. She cried when Trump was voted in as president. And they were carrying on about stuff. And just to get her goat, I turned around and said, because I believe this, I said, Trump's going to go down as one of the best presidents next to Ronald Reagan. And she goes, yeah, right. And I rebutted it with, are you women employed? Oh, that's right, you are. Is the black community employed? Oh, yes, they are. Is the Hispanic community employed? Oh, yes, they are. Is it the lowest unemployment across the board on all fronts? Oh, yes, it is. Is he going in there to try to protect our borders? Oh, yes, he is. Is he trying to fight against sanctuary cities so criminals are not raping and pillaging land? Oh, yes, he is. I said the proof is in the pudding. And then I paused. And I said, But it doesn't matter what he does, you'll hate him anyway. And she turned around and said, that's right. And there it lies. And there it lies. I got news for you, liberals. We're going to push you out. And by the way, a good point was made about term limits. Not the greatest idea either. Because then you get some coconut in there who doesn't know what they're doing, and they sabotage the whole enchilada. It comes down to you voting for the right qualified people who are there to represent the Constitution of America. I'm going to skip the instrumental here. And we're going to go to the last song. Damage.